Live in PDX brings you closer to the talent, artists, events, and businesses. Live in PDX supports and appreciates what all professions, individuals, and groups have to offer. We'll take you to the music, to the fashion, to the hot rods and sports. All the entertainment and food you can indulge yourself in, and more. So join us live in PDX. We are right back at you. It's your guy, J Mack, and we are live in PDX. Like I told you, I had another great guest that I was going to be talking to today, Miss Allison Cook, the current Miss Oregon, y'all. How you doing today, Allison?
I'm doing well. Hey,
hey,
good to see you. It's been years since
It
we've gotten
has
to work
been.
together, so I'm excited to be here.
Dang, pandemic had everybody hibernating, right?
Yes, I agree.
So how have you been?
Oh my, I've been wonderful. It's been quite a whirlwind, actually. I was trying to think about the last time we got together. I think we did an event maybe in 2016.
Yeah.
So 5 years later, I've done quite a bit. I've graduated from college.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
I started a career. I entered back into pageantry, and now I have the opportunity to be here with you today. So thank you for having me.
That's what's up. You're welcome. We're glad you were able to join us today. I know you got a very busy schedule.
Yes.
You know, you got the big pageant. Tell us about that. It's coming up pretty soon, right?
It is. So just a bit about my trajectory kind of leading up towards it. I was crowned back in March, and I'm the current Miss Oregon USA.
Yes.
And so, the Miss USA competition is coming quickly to us here. It will actually be on November 29th on FYI Network.
Mark your calendars.
Please, it's the Monday after Thanksgiving, but I actually leave in 6 days from today, so you are my last in-person interview before I hop the flight over to Tulsa, Oklahoma this year.
Before you win that Miss USA pageant.
Oh, that's the goal. We've been working hard.
Yeah, and we're wishing you well, because I've seen how much work you've put in throughout the years, and you've always been a very, very humble person and whatnot. I was reading some of your bio and whatnot. I didn't know you were an athlete. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, so I can't really hide, because if you see me in person, I'm 6'1".
Right.
I had the opportunity to play college volleyball down at Oregon Tech, and so the way I've stayed involved is I actually referee sports.
Really?
So I officiated basketball for 8 years here in the state of Oregon, and recently been officiating volleyball and have worked my way up to Division I lines judging.
Wow.
It's been fun.
That's cool. We got to be in shape to do a lot of that. That's a lot of running and,
waving the flag.
Yeah, physically fit. That's cool. That is really cool. What inspired you to want to be into the pageantry? Because there's a lot of aspiring women and teens. They have teen pageants as well. Is that something you've always wanted to do as a kid, or is that something that just kind of came recently?
Well, so it wasn't anything that I ever expected I would be involved in. I actually started pageantry when I went to college.
Really?
And they had a little booth at the college scholarship fair saying, "Want us to help you pay for school." And I thought, wow, that's cool. So I took a pamphlet and was reading it, and it said, you will need to be involved in your community, have a talent, and enjoy public speaking. So I thought, okay, I'm going to give this my best shot.
Yes.
And so I won my first title when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
And actually became Miss Oregon for the Miss America system back in 2013. So I started, that's now, almost 9 years ago, that whole journey started. And now I'm a part of the Miss USA system. Kind of the two differences. Miss USA is more about being a public figure, showing how a modern woman is involved in career, public service. We have a swimwear portion of the competition.
Okay.
And then Miss America tends to be very talent-focused.
Okay.
And it's been fun. I've gotten to be involved with so many different charity organizations. You could probably hear in my voice, I actually was emceeing for the Best Buddies Oregon Foundation last night.
Wow.
So it's just been a whirlwind. But to answer your original question, I'm more of an athlete. I would have never guessed that I'd have the opportunity to wear a sash and a crown and get a little bit dressed up. But it's been the most most amazing journey, and I've gotten to meet people like yourself and people who are really just making an incredible difference here in our community.
Right on, right on. We're very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
And we praying for you, and our well wishes. I know you're going to go out there and represent. Win, lose, or draw, you're going to represent, and it's a great opportunity. Like you said, it's like all about being community oriented and sharing your gifts and to people that might be going through it, that don't think that they can do it, especially in Oregon. Anybody that's coming up out of Oregon, I'm so proud of them because, we need a little inspiration. Our cities went through a lot the last few years, and to see people like yourself still marching on through the madness and becoming successful, that's inspiring. That is so inspiring. How's your family? I mean, are they excited about this?
They are. I feel so blessed. I have a sister and two parents who have really been supporting me both mentally and emotionally through this process.
Shout out to the fam.
So I love my family, mom, dad, and sis. I'm just so grateful. And I think what's interesting about my pageant journey at this phase of my life, so I work full-time as well as am Miss Oregon, as well as trying to balance the community volunteerism, and I also referee. So it's been a little bit crazy, but without that strong support system, I really don't know how I'd be able to manage it all.
Yeah, you got to have that support system, and it goes a long way. So I know the kids that you referee and whatnot, I know they're probably like, what? You're doing what?
It's been a little crazy. Well, and of course, I have to admit, they don't normally see me dressed like this. It's a little bit when we're officiating. But I mean, just being a referee is incredible because it's my opportunity to mentor the kids. And I firmly believe that without referees, we wouldn't have sports.
True.
And to me, sports were such an integral part of my upbringing. It was the reason in my eyes why I was tall. It gave me a purpose, and I learned teamwork and so many other life skills.
Yes.
So it's been fun to kind of marry this job of being a pageant girl and get to interact with them and just be a part of something that I love and hopefully inspire them to stay involved with sports as they grow up and move to adulthood. Sure.
That's real. I was speaking with Carrie Yu just a little bit ago, and she was sharing some real interesting facts about her coming up and some of the challenges that she had to go through. Tell us about some of the challenges that you might have had to face. Because sometimes, like I was telling her earlier, people see when people become successful or earn certain accolades that they think it was all easy. Like, oh, well, she's cute, or she's, we knew she was going to do this, but they don't know what you might have to go through to get to those levels. Tell us about some of the things you had to overcome to get to where you're at today.
Sure. Well, like anybody, I've had some interesting cards dealt my way throughout the years. Part of being involved in sports, especially contact sport like basketball, I started sustaining brain injuries at a very young age. So by the time that I was a sophomore in high school, I actually had sustained my third traumatic brain injury.
How did that occur?
So, I mean, as women, we don't have the upper body strength naturally like men do. And I was playing very competitive games, but I didn't have the muscle mass to kind of counteract
you must have been doing some Charles Barkley up there.
But, I just took some pretty difficult blows. And so that was very challenging.
Sure.
And so at my sophomore year of high school, I decided that I needed to stop playing basketball, moved to volleyball, had the opportunity to play in college, and then sustained my fourth concussion.
Oh, my God.
And then while I was Miss Oregon for Miss America, I actually sustained my fifth concussion in a car accident.
Wow.
So I would not encourage anybody to kind of push to the limit like I have. I feel very grateful that I'm as high functioning as I am, but I've had a lot of challenges. I have daily headaches, and it's been for over 10 years, and they're really not quite sure why. I have a lot of food allergies, and I have some memory and recall issues. If you see me in real life, you might see me with glasses on because I've actually lost my depth perception.
Really?
So something about brain injuries. Brain injuries are truly the invisible injury.
Yeah.
It's not like a broken arm, right? Where if you break your arm, you can see it. With the brain, we really can't see the depth of which we might have caused damage.
Way more delicate, too. Yeah, I've had some family members that went through some brain situations that were very challenging for them. So I commend you for pushing through the pain and pushing through, your injuries and still making a way. Because some people go through things and they don't know if they're going to make it out, you know.
Right.
But when they see someone like yourself that has pushed past it and grinded through the pain, it's very inspiring and very, very encouraging to know that someone has made it and still pushing through. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I never knew that about you. You know, I never knew that.
I have to admit, I didn't start sharing my story until later in life because I feel like there's always this stigma that there's a victim mentality beside it. And I never wanted people to think that, you know, oh, she's just talking about this because she wants attention or just all these other circumstances. And I realized somebody very wise told me, like, this is your opportunity to inspire other people. And by sharing the things that you struggle with, hopefully you will inspire others to overcome their obstacles.
Yes.
And so there's been kind of a slogan that I've adopted. It's be the champion of your life. But it's taking whatever life throws at you, whatever those hardships or obstacles are, and just making that decision one day, each day at a time, taking that step forward. And eventually you'll look back and be surprised at how far you've been able to overcome.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And that's one of the reasons I ask you that, because, you know, I was an artist, you know, we toured with MC Hammer years ago. And people just thought it was so easy, but they didn't see the arguments at practice. They didn't see us broke down on the road in our tour bus. They didn't see a lot of the stuff that we went through, you know. But I just always like folks that I interview to share that with our viewers, because it's very motivating to those that want to get in this particular field. If they want to be a recording artist, if they want to enter pageants like yourself, you know, it's inspiring for them to hear some of the struggles, because a lot of people are struggling out in our world. And, you know, speaking of which, I like to give a shout out to everybody worldwide that's viewing us. All of you are in our prayers and our wishes. And, you know, I'm glad you guys are tuning in today. Shout out to Dozen Media for making this happen. Raj, Hannah, Deanne, and we're in beautiful Lake Oswego. You know what I mean? We live in PDX, and I'm just grateful for you spending a little bit of time with us today. And so tell us, with the Miss USA pageant, let's say you win it.
Ooh, that's the plan.
Let's say you win it.
That's what we're going for.
Let's say you win it. Yeah. What would be the next step?
So if you can believe it, Miss Universe this year is being held in Israel.
Wow.
But we are one of the last pageants that is crowning their delegates. So 2 days after I win, because we're manifesting.
Yeah, we're putting it out there. We're putting it into the universe.
So 2 days after I'm crowned Miss USA, I will actually fly to Israel to compete and represent at Miss Universe.
There you go. There you go.
I have an incredible opportunity. And of course, you're working with a national organization. You're representing a whole slew of sponsors and getting the opportunity to work with all kinds of different charities nationwide and even globally.
Wow.
So if I was to win Miss USA, the goal would then be to win Miss Universe. And if that's not the trajectory for me as Miss USA, you would actually move to LA and we'd have the opportunity to drive a Porsche and get paid a very generous salary. And the goal would be to kind of grow my personal brand, grow the organization, and just spend the year inspiring other people to really go after their dreams and shoot for the stars.
Shoot for the stars. Speaking of your personal brand, tell us a little bit about your brand.
Oh my. So early in the pandemic this year, I guess I should say, I opened up my own business. It's just under my namesake, Allison Cook LLC. Okay. But my hope is to take my expertise in social media and moments like this and start a consulting agency. And working with different local brands, supporting businesses, and advertising for them has been a lot of fun. But really, I'm someone who's multidimensional. If you look at any of my social media, you're going to see all kinds of crazy activities. So I encourage you to please follow along with my adventures at Allison E. Cook. But you're going to see somebody who is really passionate about all kinds of things, including healthcare, brain injuries, sports, fashion, and all
community,
that is wrapped up
everything.
Under Allison. So I'd love for you to join me on my journey, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for my short-term plan and growing my brand.
That is so great. Okay, here's what I'm going to do right now. Okay. During the pageant, you know, there's usually a segment where they have a little box and you grab a question.
Yes.
And you don't know what the question is until they ask you right there on the spot.
Correct.
So I'm going to do that right now just to get get you ready for this thing. We're going to get you ready. We're going to get you ready.
Now, big question here. Do I have a time limit, or is this just like Soapbox?
Just Soapbox.
Okay.
Just Soapbox. Yeah.
I like that.
Take your time, because we're not on the clock right now.
Perfect.
So
I like it.
we want to hear everything. We're not going to rush you.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things going on in our world, Allison, as you know. A lot of things that as human beings, we wish we could fix, from the wars to the violence to the police brutality. If you could be an ambassador of peace for our world, what would you say to the world's citizens?
As a country, we need to stop focusing on politics and this division in our country, right? We were founded under the principle of one nation under God, united together as the United States of America. And I'm really disappointed with the perspective that I'm right and you're wrong. And so my hope as an ambassador for this country is that we can unify groups of people and have discussions where we share our passions and our feelings and learn how to compromise again, because as a nation, we are not going to be able to move forward until we can come to those compromises and advance together. So my hope and prayer as that ambassador is that I can bring back the spirit of America as one nation under God.
One nation. Hey, I think you're ready, Allison.
My voice won't squeak, so sorry, listeners.
You'll be good. You'll be good.
I mean, we're so lucky to live here in America, right? And I think it's so easy to focus on all the negatives. And I think as a nation, if we do our best each day to just recognize and celebrate other people, love them, cherish them, and celebrate these relationships, we'll be able to move so much farther than focusing on the hatred. Yeah,
you said a key word, love. You know what I mean? Love conquers all. And we love you. You got a lot of love worldwide. And we love the fact that you're going to represent Oregon, Miss USA pageant. There's a lot of people out there that want to be in your shoes. For any aspiring girl out there, young lady out there that may want to get into what you're doing, what advice would you give to them?
I think the advice would just be to find what you're passionate about and start learning how to use your voice. I mean, don't be afraid to speak up about things that you really care about. And you can also enter the pageant. So we'll kind of segue into that. We are actually crowning the next Miss Oregon USA and Miss Oregon Teen USA on January 15th.
Wow.
So right around the corner. My hope is to be Miss USA, so I don't know if I'll be there. But if not, I'll be there actually passing off their crown to the next young woman, and there are still spots available. So if you're interested, I'll share with the Dozen Magazine team how you would apply.
Sure.
But it's an incredible opportunity. We have a phenomenal ownership group. They're named Pageants Northwest, and so they support us as we're on our journey to Miss USA.
Shout out to Pageants Northwest. Hey, they're doing an excellent job, and we're glad, like I said, that you're going to be representing. And for our viewers out there, tell them one more time how they can follow your journey.
Okay, this is big. I want to write this one down here.
Get your pens out.
So my website is just my name, www.allisoncook.com. I'm pretty active on Instagram. That's at Allison E. Cook. And for anything pageant related, you're always welcome to follow Miss OR USA or our Facebook page, Miss Oregon USA.
Wow. Well, we're glad you spent time with us today. Shout out to all of our viewers out there around the world. It's your guy, J Mack, along with Dozen Media. We thank you for tuning in to Live in PDX today. And looking forward to following your journey. We're going to do a follow-up once you win, right?
I like this plan. Let's mark this one down on the calendar.
Yeah. We're going to follow up with you. We might have to take the Dozen crew on the road, huh? Yeah, we'll take the Dozen crew on the road and follow your journey,
Can I give them one more shout out? So
sure.
They really helped me out because when you're preparing for Miss USA, you actually have to send in footage to be used for commercials. So I was really honored to be able to support a local business and to support Dozen Magazine as they filmed my commercial shoots for FYI. I'll be sharing that on my social channels. You'll have to tune in, but just the support that we have here in the community, I'm so grateful for that, and thank you all for tuning in and supporting our mission today.
Right on. We're so proud of you, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
We're going to be tuned in. Tell us again when the Miss USA pageant is and how people can check that out. Can you tell them one more time?
Of course.
Thank you.
So Monday, November 29th, it's going to be live on FYI Network as well as on Hulu and potentially on YouTube as well. So you really need to follow my channels though, because I'll be posting all of the information, but mark your calendars and I'd love to see you there.
There you have it, loved ones. Hey, let's root her on, okay? She's doing big things. And again, big ups to everybody tuning in today. Much love to all of our viewers worldwide. I'd like to thank Miss Carrie Yu for sitting down with us, as well as Miss Allison Cook. And y'all stay tuned for more. Dozen Media bringing it to you live, baby. PDX, live in PDX, you know? All right, y'all take care, all right? Peace and love. See you next time.